Well, this is very exciting. I'm talking today to Julie Smith and Nadia Nagamootoo, who have in common the fact that they have both been nominated for the GetAbstract International Book Awards 2024, which is just fantastic. So quick little bit of explanation if you're going, well, I don't know what that means. Is that good? Yes, it's really, really good. So GetAbstract is a fantastic organisation, founded in 1999. They work with over 500 publishers. So we've worked with them at Practical Inspiration for about 4 or 5 years now. And before that, when I was at Macmillan, we worked with them a lot as well. So they take books, basically, they assess the books that we sort of submit to them. They're quite picky. They select the books that they think are going to work well for their audience, and then their brilliant team of actual human abstractors create a sort of summary of the book, and then that goes onto a learning platform which is accessed by tens of thousands of corporate professionals, mainly worldwide. And each year, the editors who've been working on creating those summaries basically choose their favorites. They nominate 10 books in 2 categories. One is business impact, one is learning impact. And so you can't apply for this award, they just select from the books that they've done. And we are absolutely delighted that this year we've got one in each category. So you're not up against each other, which is great. So Julie Smith is the author of Coach Yourself Confident. Nadia Nagamootoo is the author of Beyond Discomfort. And Julie's up in the business impact category. Nadia is up in the learning impact category. So what's going to happen is on the 17th of October, which is during the Frankfurt Book Fair, so I'm going to be there, so I'm very excited, they will announce the winners that have chosen by the editors. But hey, big news is that there's also a Reader's Choice Award. So we would love you to vote for, obviously, both of these books in the Reader's Choice Award. And to help, we've reduced them both to 99 pence on the Kindle store. Right, that's all the preamble. Now I'm going to talk to you both. And Julie, I'm going to start with you, because I know that you're coming at this from the other side now. You were a customer of GetAbstract in your corporate life, right?
I was indeed, yeah. So when I was at PepsiCo, we had a corporate subscription, and I used it a lot because it was a brilliant way to research ideas. So you can, stick a keyword in and see what comes up, and just 15 minutes to read the essence of a book was often enough to give me some brilliant ideas to kind of get going with, or to decide whether I wanted to invest in the full book. So I was an avid user back at PepsiCo.
So what was it like to read your own summary?
It was a little nerve-wracking, I'd have to say, because I had a sort of, will I like it? Will I like what they've done with it?
Have they got it?
Have they got it? Absolutely, yeah. And being a bit of a perfectionist, there was a kind of probably a bit of a control freak. Oh, someone else has summarized my book. But I was really, when I read it, I loved it. I mean, I really did feel like they'd got the essence of it. You can so tell that it's a human being who summarized it rather than a kind of AI version. And I think that's brilliant. And even down to the quotes that are pulled out, I think I'd have pulled those out as well. So yeah, felt really proud, actually. It was great to read it. And you thought, yeah, I've done a good thing.
That's so cool. And Nadia, same question to you. What was it like to read your synopsis?
To be honest, not that dissimilar. It was one of those things, because there's a lot of me in my book. There's a lot of personal stories, and to know that someone else has read my book and extracted those key messages that I was hoping through storytelling to highlight and to land these key messages. I mean, it was really heartwarming, to be honest, because you put so much as an author into writing your book, and particularly for me, because there is so many personal stories in there. To have someone have read it and for those messages to have landed, and they've picked out the messages that I would have wanted people to walk away with. It was really weird. I listened to it as well, not just read it, and there was this woman who I don't know, summarising and referring to me as Nagamootoo, and so, as Nagamootoo says, and I'm like, oh.
That's hilarious. Well, Nadia, we're going to just invite you so for people who don't know the book, tell us a little bit about Beyond Discomfort, why inclusive leadership is hard, and why you wrote it. Why did it come out into the world?
Well, oh gosh, big question. I'll try and keep it concise. So, having facilitated conversations globally with leaders, I realized that leaders were stuck when it comes to diversity, equity and inclusion and their own inclusive leadership practice. But they were stuck for different reasons. So what I was hearing in facilitating conversations were that, you know, I think it's gone too far. I don't believe in the work that's being done. I don't see why we should, you know, diversity, equity, inclusion work should favour one group over another. You know, so there was a lot of people pushing back, and we've seen that globally in terms of the backlash. There were people who were just looking for evidence, looking for proof, saying, well, how do I know how much extra to give Alison compared to Julie? If Alison tells me she's neurodivergent, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? Because it was so intangible, so complex. And leaders often like simplicity. They want it to be easy. If we treat everyone exactly the same, then we're not going to be held up at an employment tribunal for favoritism. And so again, you know, we had these leaders who were just treating everyone exactly the same, and thought that was the most inclusive way to be. And so I was hearing all of these different narratives, and yet helping them and supporting them through those during a workshop was really challenging, because it's not enough time to delve deeply into what was going on for them. So I thought, well, if I write a book, hopefully, well, they can spend time reflecting. That's the beauty of the book, is you can read it again. You can almost have a conversation with yourself, and at the end of each chapter I've also included reflection points, so personal questions they can ask themselves, and a workbook that goes with it, so that they can. So I really wanted the conversations I wanted to have with them in the moment, which is hard when you've got kind of 16 odd people in a workshop, to actually support them in their personal reflection and development and learning. So that's the idea behind Beyond Discomfort.
And speaking as a publisher and somebody who worked with you on the concepts as well, I think even just the fact that you name it, that you're out there, this is really uncomfortable. You have to go through that. You have to go beyond that, and you have to actually take action. I think that's really great. You have a lovely matrix where you sort of name the ways in which people can respond to the challenge of diversity.
Yeah, and not to put people into boxes, because that's the last thing I want to do as a diversity and inclusion practitioner, but simply to aid, to help people with their reflection. So yeah. So a perfect category, learning impact, is what I wanted, is for people to read it and just get some insights about themselves, about the way that they see the world, the lens that they see the world, and how that might be different depending on your background and your heritage and your diversity characteristics.
Brilliant. And it is such a great book. Thank you. And Julie, I guess the same question to you. Why did you write Coach Yourself Confident? I'm going to go for that one up as well now.
Well, I guess it's similar in that it sort of was born out of my work. And I'd say that as a coach, I have seen so many brilliant people who don't know how brilliant they are. And really saw a bit of a pattern of people coming when either they would say they wanted to work on their confidence, or they might come with something else, but hiding behind that something else was actually a high degree of self-doubt, and that was the work to do. So I know that I can help people one-to-one. I have helped people one-to-one, but it's quite exclusive. It's quite expensive, exec coaching, just by its nature. So the idea of the book was, could I put the benefits of exec coaching around confidence within the pages of a book, and then it's so much more accessible. So that's what I tried to do, and hopefully it's to sort of help people rebalance where they know that their confidence lags behind their capability, to help them to sort of close that gap through really getting to know a bit better their own confidence, their self-doubt, and through lots and lots of practical activities to do. So that's it in a nutshell. In a nutshell,
I know. And again, there's so much there, but I just want, as a publisher, just coming at that the fact that you named the self-doubt tax. As soon as you named that, I was like, of course. So just explain that, because it's such a great concept, and I think people will recognise it when they hear it.
Yes. And it named something that I have absolutely experienced. So I think that was just interesting from my own point of view. So really it's about what I say is the cost of a lack of confidence. So, and we might pay this tax in one of two ways. So if we allow our self-doubt to hold us back and we sort of stay small, then we pay it in the form of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Or if, on the other hand, we deliver amazing results, kind of despite the self-doubt, we can pay the tax in the form of overwork and exhaustion. So we compensate for the lack of confidence with over-preparation, over-delivery, overwork, which it works. I know from personal experience, it works, but it's not sustainable. It is exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine everybody looking at me, oh, that's what it's called. I thought it was just me. Yeah, fantastic. And I'd love to know when I imagine when you found out, you had to kind of quickly go, what the hell is this? What? Well, probably not you so much, Julie. How did you react when you found out?
Well, I think for me, it was completely out of the blue. I think what's brilliant about the fact that there's no nomination process is that it's completely out of the blue, and that's a wonderful experience.
And no stress
but it was also no stress beforehand. No. And it was also slightly disconcerting. So I think my reply back was, can you help me calibrate just how excited I should be about this? Like, is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal?
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. And that was what became sort of clear. And then it's kind of, excitement grew. And it was quite hard keeping it secret for the amount of time that we had to keep it quiet.
Which wasn't too long, thank goodness.
No.
What about you, Nadia? Same?
Well, you saw my email response, which was... it was pretty much identical to Julie's. But being a psychologist and very analytical, there's something I was like, right, I haven't heard of these awards before, and I don't expect to, because I'm not a publisher, I'm not in the publishing world, I'm a first-time author, so of course I wouldn't have come across it. So for me, it was just like, how excited do I need to be about this, or should I be? How much of an accolade is this? Like, where did this come from? Because it was so out of the blue. It was very much like, where did this come from? Did you, as a publisher, did you nominate? Is that where is everyone in it? And then my name, so it was all of that. I'm sitting on a park bench looking after my 3-year-old on a Friday afternoon and kind of going, is this real? Like, and so then obviously came the research, and Julie and I both kind of was like reading about it and trying to figure out. And I was like, oh, this is big. They've, yeah. So, wow, I feel supremely chuffed. Is just for want of any other words.
Supremely chuffed can't be topped as the description. That is brilliant.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Well, I'm so proud, obviously, as a publisher, because this is not something that you can influence as a publisher. We submit people prizes all the time, but this one's totally out of our hands. So it's just wonderful, really wonderful news. And as I say, I will be at Frankfurt Book Fair on the 17th of October. I will be there with everything crossed. But just even this is just fantastic. So, just in closing, thank you both. For today, thank you for this conversation. Thank you for writing such extraordinarily good books. And I'd love to, if you're watching this, find out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. They're 99 pence or 99 cents on the Kindle store at the moment. Really, why wouldn't you? And if you love them as much as we do, then please do vote for them in the GetAbstract Readers Award. I'll try and put the link in the comments under this, see how that works. But yeah, fantastic. Everything crossed for you both, and congratulations again. So thrilled for you.
Thank you very much. And thank you to Practical Inspiration Publishing for all your support. I have to say, hands down, I recommend you widely because the experience has been so positive. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Nadia. That's really nice to hear. Thank you. And Julie, I think you were just saying you started off with the proposal challenge as well, didn't you? I think you both went through that experience. So yeah, baptism of fire.
Definitely. Yeah, well, baptism of fire, and it was really, really hard. And certainly day 2, I seem to know day 3 was very, very hard, but it's all worth it. All worth it.
Brilliant. Yeah, day 3 is hard, but after that, it's all downhill. All right, take care, guys, and I shall. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks both.